Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the YesterYear Racing League, where the past meets the present. This evening, we're excited to be bringing you coverage from all the action from iRacing's virtual Martinsville Speedway in Ridgeway, Virginia. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you all type action from all types of racing, including the weekly Fast Friday series. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Brayton Laster, and joining me in the booth is Jeremy Briggs with Robert Hill working the controls as our producer. The YesterYear Racing League is a unique one on the iRacing platform. It seeks to emulate historical races in the 1990 Whelen Modified Series or the 1990 Southern Modified Auto Racing Teams, aka the S.M.A.R.T Tour. These races will be identical to where and how the real world races occurred, including weather, standings, as far as the points format, the racing style. You see the pictures there. They try to replicate it as much as they can. Tonight, we're going to be replicating the Virginia 150 that was won by Jeff Fuller back in 1990. This track here, Martinsville, you see a schedule there. Not the first time we've been here. We started the season here. We're a third of the way through the season now, with this being our second visit to Martinsville and our last until the season finale at Martinsville in October. Jeremy, these are some of the top modified drivers in all of iRacing and consist of a list of very prestigious drivers too. Look at some of the stats. Some of these guys are nearing 10,000 laps almost completed here at Martinsville. What do you think we can expect to see tonight?
Good evening, Brayton. Pleasure to be working alongside of you again tonight. I'm excited to be here. Like you said, a lot of these drivers have a lot of laps. This is going to be an exciting race. The overcast skies are going to present us probably a lot of grip, and we'll have to see how it plays out throughout the race tonight.
Yeah, weather's definitely going to be the name of the game. Like we mentioned, the weather is identical to what it was back in 1990. So they try to emulate as close as possible, weather obviously being a huge factor. One of the things that you can actually simulate, of course, the cars, the technology, the track itself has changed a little bit since then. We had that major change back in 1999 with Martinsville. But for the most part, it's known as the paperclip. That's what it's been known as most of its career. It's known for short track racing. That's over here and going to see tonight. Coming in at just over a half mile, about 0.526 miles to be exact. Like I mentioned, known as the paperclip for its tight corners and symmetrical shape, about 12 degrees of banking. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you gotta realize we are wheeling and dealing some heavy stock cars around here, and it's gonna be all give and definitely no take. All take and no give, just like we saw in that first race. And here's a fun stat for you, Jeremy. While this track has about 65,000 seats, at about every NASCAR event, they sell over 50,000 hot dogs.
That's an incredible stat right there. And speaking of stats, looking at our AI top predictions here, Hubble's AI top predictions for the Virginia 150. We got Donnie Moore at the top. What are you thinking about these predictions here?
Yeah, we've talked about them all season long. Coming to the fifth race, we've been able to kind of see how they stack up. And so far, they've been pretty close. That's one thing that this league does. We talked about with the past meets the present, and they're trying to incorporate the modern technology as much as they can, and using the AI predictions. Like we mentioned, they're able to include stats from the driver's laps turn here to incidents to average finish here to average start here, just to like total laps. And they get it down to a science, and they've gotten pretty accurate as far as those predictions go. Thomas Olga, though, I think definitely coming in as my favorite. He won the first race. They didn't just win the first race here, basically dominated, led over 160 of 200 laps. Donnie, though, we talked about him a second ago. He led quite a few laps on that first race. I believe he was the only other driver to lead laps in that opening race. So we're done with qualifying. Let's go ahead and go down the starting grid. So we're going to start off with Ryan Pittman, I believe, grabbing his first pole of the season. To his outside, Thomas Olgo, so close yet so far, about 200ths of a second off from what would have been his third pole in 5 races. Gavin Adams behind him in third, Brian Bianchi in fourth, Jonathan Thier in fifth, Jerry Isaac sixth, Lloyd Moore in seventh, Stephen Hilbert in eighth, Rory Collins and Lowell Jewell in 10th. Jeremy, I want to let you round out the field here.
And that's exactly it. These times are close. Watching them between now and practice, these times are going to be really close tonight. Should be put on a good show. We got Ralph Vandervorst in 11th, Bryce Pearson in 12th, Chris Haslip in 13th. We got Jeffrey Leiden in 14th, Brian Johnson 15th, and Thomas Hilbert in 16th. Alan Wanamaker in 17th, and Torrance Childs in 18th. Rounding out the field in 19th, Todd Lidston. We got a great field of cars here tonight. Let's see how it pans out with those close times.
Yep, for sure. We got another pace lap to go here. Fastest lap of the race last time we were here was set by Donnie Moore on 18.645. The temperature was a lot hotter, a little more humidity, not quite as much cloud coverage. So with the cooler track temperatures, we're going to see a lot quicker times. So you can see the qualifying time, quick time, already about 2/10 quicker than what they were here a month or so ago, a little over. But it's going to be Ryan Pittman, Thomas Ogle on your front row tonight. Ogle, like I mentioned, led 160-plus laps last time here. Donnie Moore led 30. So going to be interesting to see. Going through the starting lineup, though, Donnie Moore actually not here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes things, too.
Pace car is making the hard left turn. Sorry, excuse me, pace truck. Here we go.
On through 3 and 4. No restart zone. Sector wasn't back in 1990. And Ryan Pittman going to lead the field to green. Early jump over Thomas Ogle through 1 and 2. You want to wrap the bottom here. And we already got pushing 7. Jerry Isaacs, Lloyd Moore, Brian Bianchi 3 wide. They're going to be wrecking in the back. No fast pairs. They're still wrecking. And they're actually wrecking up front as well. We got some hard hits. Jerry Isaacs up in the air into the wall.
Oh,
and
man.
We're going to end a lot of drivers' nights here early.
Man, these are going to be some replays to see. We got 2 incidents. We got the one that caused the caution and the one that was, I believe, after the caution up towards the front. See if our replay booth can get this put together. Let's take a look here.
So we're watching the initial start. We got Pittman on the front row, and they go into 1. And I'm not sure who it was. Someone gets shoved 3 wide there. Yeah, I'm already shoved, but it kind of goes up 3 wide. That was Brian Bianchi getting shoved, and then Steven Hilbert gets plowed into behind from Louis Jewell. That brings out your caution, and then going forward, yeah, so we had someone else get turned up here. It was Gavin Adams who started third in the number 30 machine. Caution's out. You see him there, just kind of got hooked by Thomas Ogle, and then down the track he goes. I don't think he hit the brake. He tried to get away from the rest of the field, and that's after the caution already come out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have to find out. That was exactly what you said there. The yellow was already out, so I'm not sure if the 30 car there was just kind of easing off of it, and the other car was kind of still going. So we'll have to see what happens here. See what's going on the damage report, as it looks like we do have 3 cars on pit road right now.
And doesn't look like we have anything too catastrophic. Gavin Adams and Jerry Isaacs both in meatball flags. No fast repairs tonight. No wave arounds. No lucky dogs. Just like we saw in week 1. If you go a lap down, you're going to have to fight your way back the hard way and the old-fashioned way to get that lap back. If not, you're going to be stuck a lap down for the majority of the night. So looks like we're going to be losing 2 drivers, at least going multiple laps down already. Coming into the night, Thomas Ogle, who got some damage throughout that wreck, came in tonight as your points leader, only a 1-point advantage over Brian Bianchi, also with damage in that wreck.
Looks like Brian Bianchi is running 5th still, I believe.
That they should be able to stay out there, but
so that should be good for his night. Also, like you said, older style rules here, so this will be single file restarts as well. Let's see what happens with this this long chain of cars here.
Restarts are the best opportunity to make passes here at Martinsville. We talked about it kind of being a bottom feeder track, especially this early in a run. And with these being open wheel cars, and they're not stock cars necessarily, they're not fender cars, you can't really rub on one another as much as you would, versus a NASCAR style car or like a street stock. It seems maybe they're going double file. I don't think. Okay, nope, the guy driver going to the back. My apologies there, but so a little contact on the left front is not anywhere near as forgiving as a fender car, so you can easily knock the toe in, and that can really ruin your speed over the run. Thomas Ogle not electing to pit there, see if he has any damage. Going to be lining up right behind Ryan Pittman, leading the field to green.
As Ryan Pittman gets ready to bring him to the green. Like you said, no restart zone. The green flag is out. Pittman leading him in turn 1. Ogle on his heels.
So far. A lot cleaner start. Seems through the field. We got a couple guys going high up by the wall. That's Chris Hazlip getting up by the wall in that 9th position. 93 machine going short out though, going in 3. Pittman continuing to lead over Ogle, actually pulling away by about 4 or 5 car lengths. Going to build an early advantage here after first lap green flag racing. Over a second gap though to third place of Jonathan Thier.
Drivers trying to get strung out, settle in. It's a 150 lap race. We're not even to lap 10 yet. Settle in, save your tires, be there at the end. That's what matters here.
Yeah, going back to week 1, 200 lap race. We had 8 cautions for 40 laps. Going to take 50 laps off the charts for this one. So I don't expect as many cautions, but only 2 leaders and 2 lead changes. You mentioned Thomas Ogle and Donnie Moore. So far though, only Ryan Pittman continuing to lead the first 10 laps of this one. We're going to have a caution
We
wreck.
got the 93 back here. Chris Hazlip.
He got shuffled out of line on that initial start, and this run isn't going anywhere near as good for him as he would have liked. We got a replay coming up. I think Bojangles' yellow car, no, I'm sorry, not yellow car, Bojangles' car, and then green and blue 93 just kind of lost it on its own, it seemed.
Looks like he got loose. Sometimes the bleeding never stops. This might be an example of, I'm not sure if he was involved in that first wreck or not, or if he just got loose right there.
Yeah, I didn't think he just got out of line. He was running that middle lane and just kind of got out of shape and, not really any grip up there in that middle lane yet. Got to the gas a little too early and just around he went, overcorrected it, and, they're still pretty tight up after the restart, so he should be able to continue still on track. We have, though, lost a couple drivers, it seems. Jerry Isaacs and Todd Liston, who were both involved in that first lap wreck. They have left the session. They're done for the night. Bruce Pearson, Gavin Adams, both of damage from that first lap wreck, are 3 and 4 laps down, and they are both out on track, though, continuing to turn laps. Alan Walmaker coming down pit road, though, trying to get some damage or maybe get some fuel settled.
Like I said, it was 150 laps, and they must have heard me and thought it was a good time to spin out there, but just kidding. And hopefully we can get some green flag runs in here and see what we can do, as Pittman is still our leader with Ogle, Thier, Moore, and Bianchi, your top 5.
So nothing really changing from their top 5. Lloyd Moore up a couple of spots, Bianchi falling down, and Jonathan Thier up 2, but Ryan Pittman, Thomas Ogle 1-2 hasn't changed one bit. They got a pretty early advantage there after the green flag flew in that restart. After just a lap and a half, I mean, Pittman had over a second and a half, it looked like, to Jonathan Thier, and about 7/8 tenths to Thomas Ogle. So I think having that jump when you want to go, no restart zone really in effect here, I think that helps out the lead car a lot.
Definitely an advantage, and you have full control over when we're going. I don't blame him one bit for getting those big leads. We'll have to see how it pans out. See if Ogle can figure out how to maybe maneuver those restarts a little bit better, maybe be closer and be ready to go when Pittman fires.
Sure, going to have to be on his toes, trying to minimize the bleeding as much as he can. Then again, it's a long race. Ogle led a lot of laps here last time we were here, so anyone knows how to get up front and win, especially at the Martinsville, it's him.
Having a lot of laps here, like you said, there's a couple drivers here that have over 9,000 laps at this track, and that's a pretty amazing feat right there.
For sure. It's been a rough go around though, past week or so for Ryan Pittman. Had his first not top 10 finish last week at North Wilkesboro after starting 5th. Had a real good week though at Hickory in week 2, up 13 spots, but so far he's had a pretty solid start to the season. And definitely has a nice start going this time. First couple laps led, though, since week 3 in Richmond. So, nice little turnaround so far for Ryan Pittman. Getting ready to go back green flag racing. Pace truck going to pull on in. And the slow crawl, 40 miles an hour all the way through 3 and 4. Pittman looking to get the green flag this time by. He's going to get it. Still going slow.
Pittman definitely took his time on that restart, already driving out to half a second, if not more.
Very slow on that start. I think he's playing it just right. These guys have kind of all stack up, they're not able to judge when he's going to go. And so far, after just one lap of green flag racing, half-second advantage over Olgo and just at a second to Jonathan Thier. So everyone getting single file, working way throughout the field, throughout the pack. Still a lot of racing left.
Watching back here in third place, Jonathan Thier looks like he might be holding these guys up behind him. Lloyd Moore are hot on Jonathan Thier there. Brian Bianchi looking to pounce as well.
Guys moving up through the field. We talked about Lloyd Moore up 3 spots on the back bumper of Thier trying to steal that last podium position. Meanwhile, Alan Wallmaker is on pit road. Not really sure the reason, but he's going to go at least one, if not multiple laps down. Gavin Adams, Bruce Pearson, multiple laps down, still out on track. His lip, that last caution, still also on track on the lead lap. Brian Pittman, though, continuing to lead.
It looks like Olgo might have found something out here on this green flag run, not letting Pittman get as far away this time.
Talked about Olgo dominated last time we were here, 160 plus laps led. And so far, Pittman not able to quite build the gap he was last time. But Olgo was just saving that last run, but these two have pulled away, checked out, and they're in a whole different zip code from Jonathan Thier in third place.
Because it looks like the pressure is on for fourth as Bianchi here is trying to make something happen, trying to get around Moore as Moore is falling off the back bumper of the third place car.
Yeah, definitely, as I think those two are starting to heat up in that battle for third. Lloyd Moore right on the back bumper almost of Thier, and then Bianchi right behind Lloyd Moore, kind of causing the, overshoot the corner a little bit and fall behind. Olgo and Pittman, though, kind of, playing it calm, cool, and collected for the most part. Neither one really making any mistakes, allowing these two to kind of pull away from the rest of the field.
Smooth and steady wins the race. I feel like these drivers have really put on a good pace here at the front, really showing their strength early. They're going to make everybody have to work for this.
Oh, right in the back.
Oh, we got a
Steven
wreck.
Hope straight in the Hazlip. I was watching that start to fold. Hilbert had just missed the corner through 1 and 2. Hazlip took advantage, and then Hilbert tried to pull a slingshot move, and for the second time tonight, Chris Hazlip involved in a caution. This time, though, not of his own fault. That's 1 and 2 that I was talking about. Hilbert in the blue car, Hazlip in the green and blue car, and Hilbert just kind of misses the corner big time, right in the back bumper of Hazlip, and around he goes.
Man, that was pretty driving in deep there. I'm not too sure what happened, if he just misjudged going into 3 there or what.
He did apologize over the radio, but both drivers are going to lose a lap. And like we talked about, losing a lap is basically a death sentence here. See the replay there. And, so they're going to get damage fixed and go at least 1 lap down. The only way they can get that lap back is either through some wacky pit strategy and a good timed caution or something. But no lucky dogs, no wave arounds, nothing fancy like that.
As we look back up front, we got Pittman and Olgo still 1, 2, Thier, Moore 3 and 4. We got Bianchi in 5th, Collins 6th, Vandervorst in 7th, Jewell up to 8th, I believe, and Jeffrey Lydon 9th, and Brian Johnson is in 10th.
Yeah, Thomas Hilbert in 11th there. Up 5 spots. We've talked about him a little bit throughout the season. He's been one of our more consistent drivers, it seems, for sure. And Torn Child started second last in this race, up 6 spots himself in the 12th. So he's out here survival of the fittest. And so far, it's what it seems to be the survival of the fittest. Don't wreck. And most of the season's been like that. Try to keep your tires under there. We saw Hickory. Tires were a huge deal. And we had a 70 lap, I think, green flag run there. And by the end of that run, you had guys spinning out all over the place, no cautions though. And it became basically dodging cat and mouse for the leaders. They're working way through lap traffic, and you get guys spinning out right in front of them, trying to tow as quick as they can. So it'd be interesting to see if we're able to get a long green flag run. Who's able to take care of their tires? They do have 2 sets in the pits if they need them. So far, I don't think anyone, as far as the lead pack, has elected to pit.
Brayton, I got a question for you. With 50 laps less than the previous race here, do you feel like there's more of a sense of urgency for these drivers to move forward sooner with those 50 less laps?
I think for sure. I mean, Martinsville as a track is a definitely a track where you see a hole, you see any opening whatsoever to make a move and you advance your position. You definitely don't want to slip away, because if you make the same mistake, you know, that you're going to pass up on, the guy behind you more likely will not pass up on that opportunity. So you want to try to, you know, shoot the gap, shoot the hole, you know, any chance you can get. So I think, especially with 50 less laps in, you know, the first race here, guys are feeling a little bit of a sense of urgency. You know, we saw Hilbert, you know, miss the corner, and I don't know if we just misjudged the next corner. And unfortunately, you know, his race, I don't want to say as far as the odds of winning are definitely over going a lap down, but he might have felt that extra sense of urgency, you know, trying to minimize time loss, and just unfortunately minimized his front bumper into the back of Hazlett.
Unfortunate, as we are 1 to green. The pace truck's going to make the left-hand turn here on the pit road, as Pittman and Ogle are going to be 1 and 2. Pittman's going to set the pace coming out of 3 and 4.
Slow pace, 40-mile-an-hour crawl through 3 and 4. Pittman still with advantage, has led every lap. First 30 of them, he's going to get the green flag, though. Shoots real late in the restart zone. Ogle, though, that's going to allow him to stay right on the back bumper. Pittman through 1 and 2. Thier also joined his 3-car train, and so far, everyone's a lot more tight-knit since after the first handful of corners.
I'm impressed with Pittman because Ogle had a great restart. Pittman drove off of off of turn 2 there and really gapped him again. We'll have to see if Ogle can drive him back into him, drive back to his back bumper like he did in that last run.
Yeah, the gap nowhere near as big as it was the last 2 restarts. Just up 0.3 of a second between Pittman and Ogle. Previously it was 0.5 and 0.7. So Ogle is minimizing the bleeding on these restarts big time.
Everybody starts to find their position here. Looks like everybody's getting nice and strung out. We'll have to see if those passes begin once everybody starts to get some heat in their tires.
Yeah, more and more cautions we have, the more and more your tires are going to cool down and not quite be as optimal as you would like on an initial start or initial couple green flag laps after a restart. Ogle and Pittman continue to pull away, though, from Thier in third, and Lloyd Moore and Brian Bianchi going at it for 4th place.
As we take a look at this battle for 4th place, got about 4 cars under a blanket here. Every time they go into the turn, they all get kind of caught up there.
And Tugga 2-2, Lloyd Moore, your conductor, leading this train through or around 3 and 4. 4-car train here, like I mentioned, Lou Jewell, Rory Collins, Brian Bianchi, and Lloyd Moore. About 4 cars within a second or so gap. Jonathan Thier kind of in his own little concession stand line, and then Thomas Ogle and Ryan Pittman are trying to take a bite out of the same hot dog. See what I did there? Just get it,
Speaking of hot dogs, sorry about that. We had Pittman in the AI in the Hubble AI prediction as 7th. Good performance the last top 10s. Good quality passes puts him in a strong position. So we'll have to see if that continues to play off here, as he's been leading the majority of all the laps, I believe, tonight in this race.
Yeah, Pittman has those 3 top 10s, started the season out with 3 top 10s back to back to back, and then finally had his first finish outside of top 10. Best race out at North Wilkesboro. Only 11 laps led on the season coming tonight. Those coming at Richmond. Definitely going to change the game up a little bit here for Pittman, as he's going to lead at least 38, 39 laps this time by. So going to shoot up to probably 2nd or 3rd most laps led throughout the season. For reference, Thomas Ogle, this season high laps leader, 366. Next person behind him, Rex Hoyle, last week's winner at North Wilkesboro, who led most of that race as well, 121 laps. So Thomas Ogle has led over half the laps this season. Meanwhile, Pittman, on the other hand, is way down the list at about 2% left. So he's going to move up those standings quite a bit.
And Pittman was, I think, the only driver to really move up the standings in practice late. So I don't know if he found something or what, but he's making it happen as the battle for 4th and 5th and 6th continues on back here. I believe the closest battle on the track right now.
And they've kind of separated themselves a little bit, but Jonathan Thier and Lloyd Moore are about 2.5, 3 tenths from one another.
Everybody's gotten nice and settled in here, trying to get some green flag laps in. So we are looking to come around for lap 43, I believe.
Yeah, Johnson's here in the 3rd spot. Is it only his 2nd actual race of the season? Came out a couple weeks ago at Richmond. Only ran a handful of laps. I believe he racked out late in that race, if my memory serves correctly, but finished 18th. So not the greatest one race wonder, and then decides he's going to come in here to Martinsville and try and show up and show out. And so far he is running strong in that 3rd spot.
Running strong, but once his tires get heated up, he does kind of start to drive off from everybody. We'll have to see how that pans out. Like you said, the tires cycling and everything as we come around for lap 45.
And Lloyd Moore also right behind Theo, though. Has had a lot of guys have had a rough couple of weeks. Started out the season with a top 10 at Martinsville and a 2nd place, his first podium of the season at Hickory, and then had an average finish of 12th for the next 2 races. So definitely a rough couple of races. And finally back to his previous self, it looks like Lloyd Moore is running inside the top 5. He's been contending for this last podium spot most of the night. As Pittman, though, continuing to lead this one. We're about a 3rd of the way through. He's got 6, 7, 10th advantage over Thomas Ogle.
Not sure if Ogle might have just started saving his stuff, or if Pittman is just slightly, just a little bit better every lap. Just creeping away as he continues to lead laps here tonight in the number 08 machine.
Right as we start talking about that, Ogle must have found something where Pittman lost something. Last time by, Ogle was over a 10th of a lap faster, picked up some time, does it again, this time 300ths of a second faster. So Ogle's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Seems to kind of struggles after that initial launch and find something in the middle or early stages of a run. So we're starting to finally get some heat on the tires, coming to about 33% laps compared to see the time differences there in the last couple of laps, so that's time by Pittman a little bit quicker than Ogle.
It looks like the rotors are starting to glow on these cars. The 13s, rotors were glowing before the 08s, and then once the 08 started to glow his rotors there, he started to pull away as well as they continue to battle here. Matching lap times here, lap by lap now. Like you said, the heat is turned up as these drivers battle for this top position.
See the temperature change throughout the corner. You get real hard on the brakes at Martinsville. You're going about 120, 125 at the end of the straightaway, and then throughout the corner to get in the 6 mile an hour. But
we got a wreck in turn 3 here. Turn 4, the 3 on the inside, no yellow yet. I'm surprised we got the leaders coming around. Still no yellow as he just exits. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of shook Pittman up, had to go way up the track, and that allowed Ogle to close up quite a bit. Within 0.4 of a second now, these two have really pulled away in their uncontested stand line. Keep bringing up with that mine, so we're going to see a replay here of Ralph Vandervoort in the 3 machine, going through 3 and 4 by himself, doesn't really have anyone around him, and just kind of loses it. We saw that quite a bit last race out, and he went down at the bottom of the track. Really no need for a caution, or at least iRacing doesn't think so. But you see the battle for the lead there, and you see the gap to 3rd, about 3 seconds from your lead to the 3rd place and Jonathan Thier. So these two continuing to pull away.
Looks like Pittman's starting to diamond the exits a little bit as Ogle continues to wrap the bottom, and it seems to help Pittman on his exits.
Yeah, for sure. You see Ogle really wrapping that white line, wrapping the apron along the bottom track. Pittman trying to diamond the corners, get the better drive off. I think we're going to see that middle-ish lane, the same lane that Pittman's starting to run, kind of start to come in a little bit. It didn't work for Hazelup early in the run because there wasn't any rubber really down the track, but Pittman's starting, I feel like, kind of get more consistent, get a better drive off than Ogle.
I'm almost starting to think that lap car making him having to move up, he might have found something right then and there because he hasn't moved really back down since. As the battle is on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th here. Here with pressure from Moore and Bianchi. Side by side in the 3 and 2. Oh, they almost touch. Bianchi trying to get that position. He sees the blood in the water. Looks like he's going to let him have that position.
Lloyd Moore going still 3rd out of all that. Thier, though, still fighting for his life. Bianchi just inside, side by side for that 4th position. Gonna get inside, nudge him, turn him,
Oh, Oh no!
That's going to ruin the left, front, right, rear, and everything in between of Jonathan Thier. He's going to lose a ton of time, a ton of spots. He's going to relegate back to the 8th spot, lose about 5 or 6 seconds to the whole altercation. Contact with Brian Bianchi sends Jonathan Thier around.
We'll have to see that replay. I'm not sure if Thier knew he was there or not. It looked like he was there on him.
I mean, yeah, he was there
when we
coming
watched
out
that live.
too. Yeah, and then I think he just sent it in a little deeper than Thier expected, but also Bianchi literally had to basically use Thier up to really make the corner. So
I mean, he was up on the curb, so I'm not sure there, but
yeah, don't really
unfortunately,
know.
Thier was the unlucky one there. As we look at the lead here, Ogle is now all over the back bumper of Pittman.
Yeah, it's really starting to close up. Meanwhile, though, they have built a 4-second advantage to third place of Lloyd Moore after all, and then 6 seconds to fourth place of Bianchi.
One thing we haven't talked about tonight, lap traffic. They're almost, I'm pretty sure, on the same straightaway as lap traffic now. We'll have to see how that shakes up the leaders. See if lap traffic knows how to get out of the way.
Yeah, definitely these guys taking a lot better care of their tires as well. You got Steven Hilbert coming up, who's already one lap down from that wreck with Hazlip. So it should go by that and by fairly easy, fairly quickly.
As Moore back here in third, kind of a lone ranger on his own island. About 2 seconds out front and 2 seconds out back right now of him as he just kind of hangs tight and clicks off these laps. We'll have to see what these leaders battling in lap traffic if Moore can get some luck here and steal the win away from these leaders as the heat is on from Ogle and Pittman.
Now look at lap times. Lloyd Moore has kind of cut into the gap between Thomas Ogle and Pittman. So he's so far been slowly chunking away at it, but I don't think, you can't really make up 4 seconds just, in a nick of time. So you have to do this consistently for the rest of the race if it goes green.
We are almost halfway, so it can happen, I believe, if he keeps chipping away just a little bit.
Ogle losing 2 tenths that last time by, still continues to wrap the apron, the bottom line around the track. I'm not a huge fan of the line, but if it works for Ogle, it works for him. He knows how to get around this place, especially out front. Pittman, little loosey-goosey, seems on the exit. It's going to allow Ogle to close up going down the back straightaway.
As the leaders continue to battle on, to continue to close in on that lap traffic. We'll have to see if they give way. As you can see, just out front of the windshield and this rock screen here, right out front of Pittman, there's that lap traffic. It probably might be a little difficult to see that lap traffic too with those air cleaners. Oh, we got a big wreck. We got Thier in a wreck. Big wreck. 69 involved.
Second incident of the night for Thier. A couple other drivers involved as well.
Johnson and Childs involved.
If you talk about a couple drivers starting to get a little bit loosey on corner exits, driving too hard on the right rear, see Thier get loose out of the corner. Not quite there, but we're going to see it here, hopefully. Going through 1 and 2. Thier on the back bumper of Jeffrey Lydon, and it's around Thier goes by himself. And then Brian Johnson over to go.
Yeah, just clip the curb, and that was a good run going there, too. We'll have to see if we get some pit. Looks like we got some pitters here. Leaders on pit road.
I imagine mostly everyone going to come down and pit. These get some fresh rubber and some gas if they can help. It's 69 nice laps completed. So Pittman's led every single one of them so far. Gonna lead, it looks like most of the lead lap drivers, all the lead lap drivers down pit road. I think Thier's going to get lucky here. He's going to stay on the lead lap. So that's something that's, been a cause for concern for most of these guys. You might, wreck and not be that bad, but just because, you're wrecking, you're losing a ton of time, and, most track we go to are short tracks, very quick laps, especially even under caution. You still lose the lap regardless. Battle off pit lane, gonna go to Brian Pittman. Brian Bianchi, though, going here in second, and then all gonna come out third.
Looks like just 2 right side tires for our leaders here. As we're just I believe we'll be probably going back to green at halfway here in the Virginia 150 and the YesterYear Racing League.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's setup shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the virtual Martinsville Speedway. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Thomas Hilbert elects to not pit, inherits the lead over Jonathan Thier, also not pitting. So they got Ryan Pittman and Brian Bianchi right behind them, but we have the older rubber out in front. I'm sure they're going to get ate up pretty quick here.
Trying a different strategy, trying to see if it'll work. Track position's king with all the caution flags that we've had tonight. This might work out for the number 61. We'll have to see how it pans out.
Yeah, a quick caution definitely going to save him. Pittman and Bianchi, like I mentioned, did pit. As long as the rest of the field, Bianchi 7 Pittman. It's going to stack up Ogle behind him. And the rest of the field, we got 9 cars left on the lead lap. And due to the nature of that caution, we've already starting to catch some lap traffic. Hilbert leading has caught up to Ralph Vandervoort, who's 5 laps down. He's the only lap traffic on this side of the track, but he was coming out of the pits as they went green flag racing. It's going to be interesting to see.
As they just completed past halfway here, Hilbert there, Pittman, Bianchi, Ogle, your top 5. Moore, Jewell, Leiden, Collins, and Johnson, round out your top 10.
Yeah, like mentioned, only 9 of those drivers on the lead lap. Brian Johnson, the first driver, a lap down. No lucky dogs, no waiver rounds. We don't give handouts here at YesterYear Racing League. So
Johnson's gonna have to work hard to get that lap back. That is for sure.
So you know who's even working harder right now? That's Ryan Pittman on Jonathan Thier trying to get second. I mean, even though he's got fresher tires, about 70 plus lap fresher tires than Jonathan Thier. Pittman now struggling to find a lane and make it work throughout a whole corner, make the pass stick. That's allowing Thomas Hilbert to build a huge gap here, over half second to Jonathan Thier.
And only 2 right sides, I believe, for those cars towards the front. So they might not be as fresh as Thier, really putting the blocks on there.
I believe Pittman took 4. I believe Pittman took 4 and Bianchi took 2, though. So Bianchi, though, still on the tracks of Pittman. But this is definitely interesting to see. The older rubber is able to hang on.
Either to hang on or just really hard to pass. But he's going to have to set up to get underneath on the straightaway if he wants to get underneath that number 69. As Hilbert just continues to drive away at almost a second here now. Catching up to that lap traffic, see if we can make quick work.
Yeah, actually, Hilbert just turned one of the quickest laps of the race. definitely quickest laps you've seen in the past 40 for 50 laps. So don't know if he's been saving his tires a little bit more than everyone else or what, and just decided to crank the heat up. But he's putting down some 18.6s, 18.7s. Most of the guys before the caution are in the high 18.8s, 18.9 range. So he's not just, building a gap because Jonathan Thayer's playing defense. He's just that quick, and he's actually 0.2 of a second faster than Ryan Pittman and Bianchi on the new rubber.
I think Tier is really holding them up. He's putting some heavy blocks on. I believe Pittman's going to have to go around the outside to make this pass happen. He's already ventured up there. He said, all right, you want to keep the bottom. I'll just go around the outside. I'm that much faster as it gets side by side into turn 3.
Pittman running the champion's groove around the outside, passing him outside. How about that? And he is light year and beyond. Jonathan Thier going to settle back, relegate to the 3rd place. He's running 3rd most of this race before getting knocked by Brian Bianchi, who's now right behind him. Thier was actually the caution, but as caution got loose, and Brian Johnson and Alan Wallmaker slid into him. Thier, though, obviously with no damage, elected to not pit, and continues to run up front once again.
Pittman already starting to just crack into that lead just a little bit, showing his strength back out here.
Oh, he's driving Bianchi from 4th.
We're going to have a yellow here. We're going to have a yellow.
Brian Bianchi, number 41 machine. We mentioned him right behind Jonathan Thier. I don't think he had any help. Just kind of lost it on his own, trying to make a move on that 3rd place of Thier. And
might have been trying to go because he saw the 08 driving away.
We've seen it time and time again. They're going to see it going in the 3rd here, moves up a lane higher than he should have, and just gets that right rear out of the groove, and around he goes.
Trying to mimic exactly how the 08 made the pass, but that 08 is just so strong. It made it look easy.
Take a look at what he did. Or didn't. So, Brian Bianchi going to come down pit road here. Try not to lose a lap. So, it doesn't look like he really got any damage. He did get clipped in the left rear a little bit by one of the lap cars. Oh, that was so close to catching the right rear of Jonathan Thier to make his night go from bad to good to bad to worse. So, hard hit on the inside wall. That's definitely going to put Bianchi out of contention, I feel like.
As the lead lap cars come around under pacing here, looks like Bianchi is going to go a lap down, as Hilbert is still our leader with Pittman, Thier, Ogle, Moore rounding out your top 5. That'll put 8 cars on the lead lap. That'll put, looks like Brian Johnson to move up to position number 9 there. And Chris Haslip behind him.
For sure. So the lead lap cars are definitely dwindling. Once again, though, you're watching Maconi Entertainment. I'm Brayton Laster. Joining me is Jeremy Briggs and Robert Hill producing. So far, 90 laps. We're past halfway. Jeremy Briggs, who do you want to pick to win this race tonight?
I gotta say, Pittman, he's really shown some strength. When he found that speed late in practice, I don't know what he found, but he's turned that thing into a rocket ship, and he hasn't looked back since.
For sure. I'm not going to lie. I gotta go with the man. I picked him, I think, earlier in the call here. I'm not changing my pick. I'm going with Thomas Ogle, though, currently in that 4th spot. He knows how to lead laps here. Led 161 of them last time we were here, over the entire distance of what today's race would have been. So, no green white checkers, nothing fancy smancy like that. Like we mentioned, YesterYear Racing League, where the past meets the present, replicating the 1990 race here, or at least one of them.
As the pace truck lights have been extinguished up top, we'll be coming back to green. I expect Pittman to make quick work of this number 61. Let's restart. We'll have to see how that pans out as the pace truck gets ready to make that left-hander into pit road.
Thomas Hilbert slow crawling through 3 and 4. We talked about it all night. 40-mile-an-hour pace speed. Hilbert going a little bit quicker, about 44, 45 miles an hour, a little bit quicker than Pittman was. Hilbert slow crawling through the field, and he's going to launch. Pittman gets a lot better launch on the fresh rubber, though. Going to get it right to the back bumper. Thomas Hilbert, only 0.2 of a second difference at the line. So going to be interesting to see Hilbert trying to hold off his fresh tires.
As Ogle tries to get on the outside here, Thayer now. See if he can hold on to his car and not spin himself out like the other ones have on the outside line as he continues to make that top work here. Side by side back in.
Pittman gets a good launch off of 2, able to close the gap even more, trying to run the diamond line like he was before he shuffled back throughout the pack due to pitting. Gonna be interesting though to see how Hilbert holds off Pittman, or if he even tries to.
I gotta say, Hilbert's held him off for more laps than I thought it would at this point. Looks like he's gonna get him though.
Yeah, Hilbert's kind of pulling to the side like a drive-through window, letting Ryan Pittman on by.
Easy work for the 08 as he takes back the lead. Not a lead change.
So looking back at the actual race that took place here in the 1990, the Raven Boats 150. It was ran on April 28th, 1990 at 2:10 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday. We're not going to ask the drivers to come out on a Saturday or at 2:10 p.m. So the winner of that race, you mentioned Jeff Fuller, led every single lap. A little bit different history, not repeating itself so far, but Ryan Pittman has led almost every lap as Hilbert's starting to fall back quite a bit throughout the field.
Looking at the track temperature, I believe it has increased since the start of the race. We'll have to see how. I believe it's up 3 degrees here from what I'm hearing. We'll have to see how this pans out. If it's just taking more rubber or if it's going to start getting loose.
Well, I think you're going to start heating up, start burning your rubber up a little bit more. And, some of these guys like Hilbert are on the same set of tires, that he started on. So he's on 98, 99 lap old rubber now. And we saw that kind of take into effect that first race here, the start of the season out. Some guys are able to hold off on fresh rubber, but no one really pushed to the extent that Thomas Hilbert, I think, has, or Jonathan Thayer. Thayer, on the other hand, is on that same old rubber, but able to maintain a third place running spot so far.
As we ride on board with these drivers, looking back, brakes are getting hot. Starting to get into a good rhythm now. It's Thayer doing really good here. Holding himself in third with older tires.
We talked about, I think the older tires get a lot better drive off in the first 5 to 10 laps after a restart. Looking at lap times, Thayer is actually quicker than Ryan Pittman, their leader. So Ogle, we're starting to get back to where they were running at before the pit cycle took place. Minus Jonathan Thayer on the lot older rubber. So Ogle catching up to Ryan Pittman and Thayer as well.
With 49 laps to go, we'll definitely have to see if Pittman can hold them off.
So they're all in the 18.6, 18.7 range. Thayer at that time by the quickest of the 3. But as we saw Hilbert do that last run, I think after 3 or 4 more laps, we're going to see Jonathan Thayer start to fall off a little bit more, a little bit harder than Ogle or Pitt.
And Pittman kicks it back into gear, pulls away just a little bit, and they kind of get caught back up. And it's got like a little bit of an accordion effect, running 2 different lines like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's kind of a monkey see, monkey do. Thomas Ogle sees something that Ryan Pittman does and kind of likes it. Ogle has been kind of, calm, steady, pretty plain Jane throughout most of the night, running the same line. Likes wrapping that bottom, likes wrapping the apron, and after a good majority of this race, is finally starting to move up about quarter to half a lane, trying to start the track for a little bit better grip. I think the same strategy that Pittman's doing, just a lot more drastically. Ogle a little bit quicker that last time by. Thayer starting to fall a little bit. We're gonna have a caution back of the field. Warren out Wallmaker, hard hit in the air.
Wanamaker really trying to make a name for himself here.
Wanamaker, maker the air and make the wall ramp and make her an air. Yeah. Oh, gets right hooked. Wow. That's
Childs came off the wall there.
Steven Hilbert there getting right hooked. Here comes Allen
on
on the
man.
bottom. We're
we're
getting
gonna.
onboard footage here in a minute. Starting to wrap. That's just a crazy wreck. Hilbert turned by Torrance Childs and Allen minding his own business.
I was really trying to figure out how Allen ended up on top of that inside wall like that. That was pretty insane.
He's trying to go to the hot dog stand, I think, and he definitely got a one-way ticket there. We mentioned that open wheel cars makes it easy for, easy to damage a car, but also super easy to have wrecks like that. And take a look at what he did.
Oh no, I'm upside down.
This isn't good. Ironically, I don't think it's gonna hurt him too bad. He has a meatball flag, but the car's still rolling. Meanwhile, Torrance Childs and Stephen Hilbert are both going to lose a ton of time and a ton of laps. They also have meatball flag on, joining them in the meatball flag, but gonna have to pit here and get some of that damage repaired. But another replay there from the pit wall.
Wow.
Have you ever seen anything like that before, Jeremy?
I've seen that like on Tony Hawk Underground, but nothing like this.
It looks like he's like skateboarding thing across the pit wall. Well, unfortunately, we did destroy a camera, so we're gonna be sending Jeff a bill for that. I'm sure he doesn't mind. That was only one of the nice 4K cameras. It's fine.
Right before that caution came out, I was getting ready to bring up one of Hubble's AI predictions here. It was one of our potential outperformers was Ryan Pittman. I'm still sticking to that. I like it.
Did it predict that Alan Wallmaker was going to get some air?
I don't see that in the notes. No predictions about people doing kick flips or whatnot down the backstretch.
Definitely a 9 out of 10. I gotta give it to Alan there. Alan's had a rough go around this season. Does a lot of work though putting together the season. Does a lot of the background work to make sure the broadcast goes smooth as far as the commentators stuff goes, and make sure every driver feels welcome here, and has put together a really unique and really awesome league. So wish the racing side would go a little bit better for him. But huge shout out to Alan Wallmaker and the rest of the YesterYear Racing staff though, as far as putting things together.
Yes, definitely gonna thank Alan and his crew for all of our notes that make tonight possible. As the pace truck lights are off, Pittman, Ogle, Tier, Moore, Jewell, Hilbert, Collins, and Leiden, your top 8 on the lead lap. Looks like the 39 is going to be towards the back of the field here on this restart.
Allen has DNF, it seems, 3 now. If he DNFs tonight, 3 out of 4 races. So last week was his first finish and finishes at the top 5. So Pittman, though, continues to lead the way. Less than 40 laps to go. Going to lead Thomas Ogle and Jonathan Thier. Thier still not electing to pit. I mean, interesting to see. I think guys are starting to take notes of the old versus new rubber. Jeffrey Leiden, the only driver on the lead lap that elected to pit there, but he's at the back of the field. Lead lap cars should not get to pass everyone. Do not pass go, do not collect $200 as Ryan Pittman, though, collecting another lap led.
Another lap led out front. He's really good on these restarts, and then Ogle kind of just slowly winds him back in. Reels him back in is what I could say. I do want to say that the 79 of Wanamaker is back on the track after that incident.
That's absolutely insane. Actually, he's got a 3-way battle with Stephen Hilbert, Ralph Vandervorst, and Alan Wallmaker, who have all been in their own shenanigans, I guess, as far as wrecks go tonight. They're all on the same lap battling for position, so every point matters here for these guys. There goes Ryan Pittman, Ogle, and Thier around Wanamaker, though,
as he stays out of everybody's way here.
Very respectful, very kind there, and shout out there to Alan Wallmaker once again.
Ogle, like I said, has reeled him back in. It's like clockwork every single time. See if you can make it happen. We're going to be having about 35 laps to go and then come back around next time.
Yeah, Thomas Ogle only about 37 career starts here at Martinsville. Only 37 starts, so over 67, now 6,800 laps completed, in which he's led 1,300 plus of those. About 20% of laps here at Martinsville he's led. So, has yet to lead a lap low tonight. And looking at laps led, he has an even higher win percentage at 21.6%. About 9 wins.
As we check back in with 3rd place, Mr. No Tires here, Jonathan Thier, number 69, who is the cause of the caution. didn't take tires, and now he finds himself in third place with 33 laps to go.
Yeah, Olgo trying to maintain pace. Him on the same strategy. Thier falling back a little bit. Has not pitted at all. So we got Chris Hazelip coming out right in front of the leaders and actually going to join Ralph Vanderhorst, Alan Wallmaker, and Steven Hilbert. Hilbert now in the pits getting more damage fixed, but those three, Vorst, Hazelip, and Wallmaker on the same lap.
Oh, Thier in the wall there as he's trying to get around that lap car. That's going to hurt him big. I lost the position on Moore finally.
Get out of the groove, get shuffled out of the way. Thier thought about sending on Lloyd Moore, and Lloyd Moore back in the third. We talked about how easy it is to kind of lose grip here to get shuffled out of the line. I think that's why Olgo has been a little hesitant to move up the track the same way Pittman has. So they got more lap traffic. That's going to be Torrance Childs 13 laps down. Last driver running still on track. He's going to go down pit road.
29 to go. Pittman, Olgo, Moore, Thier, Jewell finds himself up in the top 5 now.
Little Jewell up 5 spots. Dive bombing though. Looks like Lloyd Moore. Is that Lloyd Moore or is that Jewell? I'm not sure who that is. I believe it's Jewell. That little Jewell. Trying to pull a slingshot move on Thier. Wasn't able to quite make it stick, it looked like. And he's got Rory Collins though. We haven't talked about Rory, I think, at all tonight. Having a real solid run going for him currently just up to the top 5.
Just outside the top 5 there for Rory Collins. Trying to make it happen.
Rory's
The
actually
pressure is on.
Rory's actually having a pretty respectable season. 5th at Richmond. Starting instead of top 10. We got
we
caution.
gotta go. Turn 3. I'm not sure why Childs came to a stop right there.
He was already slow on the track. I think he was just doing laps. He just came out of pit road and just stopped at pit exit. Number 5 machine. Childs. I don't know.
Pit entry. I don't know if he was like trying to let everybody go by.
I think he was trying to let everyone go by and stopped in the racing line, and then iRacing throws a caution. So it's going to shuffle a lot of things up, and just that easily, this is going to get interesting.
We'll have to see what race control says about that. That was interesting.
That's going to set us up for about a 20-lap dash. Olgo hasn't really been that competitive on the initial start to restart, so you have to try to find something. It normally takes about 10-15 laps to get something cooking here, but he's going to have to pull some spices out and make it a little bit spicy. And might see some pit strategy. Pittman kind of faking. He's not going to go in.
Pit road's still closed.
So that's M2. We talked about Jeffrey Lyden there. We got some guys pitting. Jeffrey Lyden, Bianchi, Bruce Pearson, Gavin Adams. Those guys laps down. I don't think anyone on the lead lap pitting. As far as I can tell.
I'm surprised nobody in the lead lap did pit. With only 8 cars on the lead lap, taking 4 tires right here, 25 to go, you could really make some hay happen.
Well, you gotta remember, when we don't have the lead lap cars go to the back of the lead lap cars. So
yep, you're right. So there'd be those lap cars that'd be in the way. Yep. Okay.
So you have to work all the way around them, and old rubber really hasn't really been that far off. Jonathan Thier, I believe, is still in the same set, 126 lap old rubber, 7 laps older than everyone else as far as around him goes, and has been really consistent. I think having all these restarts is able to cool his tires down and stay relative in the story.
Looks like Thier and Hilbert in the top 10 there with the most laps on their tires. Really trying to capitalize on a top 10 right here. We'll have to see if it pans out.
Now, Lyden was struggling to get through the field. Has a lot fresh rubber, about the freshest rubber, actually the freshest rubber of anyone on the lead lap by about 30-plus laps. So he's going to restart, still in the middle of the field, but a lot closer to their leader, Ryan Pittman. Only 1 lap car between him and first, everyone else, on the lead lap. So he's finally at the tail end of the lead lap cars, and just 1 lap car kind of in the middle of that whole shebang. That's Chris Hazelip, currently in between Lau Jewell in 5th and Rory Collins in 6th.
The pace truck lights are off. Gonna have 22 laps to go. Can Ogle make it happen? Like I've said before, Pittman, he really has a really good restart. First 5 laps, kind of pulls away, and then 5 more laps, Ogle kind of gets it all back, and we got 22 of them to go. So let's see if they can make it happen.
Now we're gonna have to pull some out of the magic box, the magic hat, maybe a rabbit, maybe a trick. See if he's able to put some tricks trade. Pittman leads Ogle through the restart zone. Ogle, though, real nice start for him. Right in the back bumper of Ryan Pittman. Lloyd Moore also on the back bumper of Ogle. Pittman, though, leading the field through 1 and 2, able to pull away a little bit off of 2. Ogle struggling to put the power down. He's got Lloyd Moore right behind him and Jonathan Thier, Low Jewel in 5th.
That power move for Pittman every time off of turn 2. He's really made turn 2 work for him tonight. And Ogle is already back. We're going to be coming to 20 to go.
Pittman running up there right by the wall down the straightaway, as close as obviously anyone can get to it. I mean, I see people really close, but Pittman was basically riding it. So last time by, only 0.02 of a lap difference between Ogle and Pittman. Not a huge difference at all. Give that advantage of the Ogle, but not by much.
Couple thousandths ain't going to do it if you want to win this. We need tenths tonight.
Yeah, I need a little bit more magical than 2,000. So that last time by, advantage goes to Pittman by about half a tenth, and then they're going to build a nice little gap to the 3rd place of Lloyd Moore.
And surprisingly, Lloyd Moore is holding up traffic behind him, as I felt like he was a little bit faster than everybody there before that yellow. Oh, we got a little bit of contact.
Going to stack up the rest of the field. Rory Collins gets trapped behind that traffic from Hayes up, Lil Jewel and the Thier. And then everyone's starting to stack up low for 3rd place on back. Lloyd Moore fighting for his life. Pittman, though, pulling away from Ogle. Half a second, the difference that last time.
Really got to give credit to the 69 of Thier right now. He's got a 135 lap almost tires, and he's making it happen.
Yeah, definitely one of the more impressive performances on order rubber we've seen all season long. And I think that's just the nature of Martinsville too, though, is, you know, this is very much a driver's track. Speaking of drivers, Thomas Ogle about sent it into Pittman, so he's starting to get desperate. Desperation mode setting in, sending it a little bit deeper in the corner, find something like that lap, a tenth faster than Pittman. Coming down to about 15 laps to go.
Right out his windshield, right over the air cleaner. Can Ogle get there? He's got 14 laps to do it. Like you said, the desperation of the number 13 has set in.
Thomas Ogle has been almost perfect this season. Win at Martinsville, win at Hickory, first DNF at Richmond, 17th in a 2nd place at North Wilkesboro. Has led the entire race at Hickory. Like we mentioned, led 81% of the race at Martinsville, led 37% of the race at North Wilkesboro. Has not led a single lap at all tonight. But with 13 laps to go, it's just 2.5 tenths from the lead off Pittman. Starting to really close and reel the deal in as we're going to get caught.
Thier gets, I think Thier just, I missed it. I think he spun around. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look at that replay. I think he was battling there for position.
Yeah, well, we saw him start to check up a couple laps ago, and Thier's been struggling on that order rubber. Just kind of gets loose off the corner, and Lil Jewel does outside. Kind of forces Thier to overdrive the corner, and around he goes by himself. No help needed.
I had just seen it at the corner of my eye, but I couldn't tell if he had any contact there, so I did see it correctly. That Thier just kind of got a little loose there in the center of the turn.
So it's going to be interesting, though, to see. He's going to set us up for about a 6-lap dash or around there. A caution can end the race. Green-white checkers did not exist back in 1990. Actually, I'm sure if they could, if a caution came out, they would probably race back. That's not a feature here in the YesterYear Racing League. Although I think we should take it up to Allen. I think we should race back. I think that'd be a great idea.
I agree with that for sure.
Sure, it's not safe in real life, but... So to see the schedule, I'm going to pull it up for the second time tonight. Third of the way through the season, 5th race tonight, Martinsville, our second visit and our last until the season finale the season finale in October. But next race out, we have a month hiatus. Thompson Speedway, then go to Stafford and Thompson again. And then going to have Thompson here at the end of the schedule too, right before Martinsville. A couple interesting races that'll come up. Myrtle Beach, New Hampshire. We go back to North Wilkesboro, Stafford again. But Pocono International. Now, back in 1990, that was the modified, I guess, race of champions. And they used, I don't want to say a weird, but an alternate configuration using the front straightaway, front stretches, as we know today, and pit road to basically make it a short track. Talking to Alan, I don't think he knows exactly yet what the plan is, but it's very hard to do that considering you would drive backwards on pit road. Here on iRacing, you can't really use that configuration because it doesn't exist in iRacing. So I believe the plan is, and I might be 100% wrong here, but last time I checked in with Alan a couple weeks ago, the plan was to run the full Pocono layout. So we're going to go short track racing, then we're going to Pocono for fun of it, and then back to short track racing.
Super speedway of racing for modifieds.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to change a lot of things up. And so a lot of big hiatuses too. Like I said, it follows the real life, the Whelen schedule and then the S.M.A.R.T schedule. Both those series schedules kind of combined as close as they can get. And, they had those real life hiatuses, might have been the initial schedule, might have been the weather. But they're going to try to follow them as closely as they can. So even though it's only a 15 race season, though, for these guys in the YesterYear Racing League, it's going to span over quite a few months. So getting ready to go back green flag racing. Going to be about a 7-lap shootout. So Brian Pittman continues to lead over Ogle. Ogle has struggled after restarts. Going to have to really change some up now. Green flag, a back out one more time for Ryan Pittman.
Pittman, already that separation going into 1 out of 2. Almost already a second there. Just drove off into turn 1, set sail. Ogle pushing so hard he washed up the track a little bit.
And Lloyd
almost
Moore.
through the wall.
Lloyd Moore thinking about stealing that second spot from Thomas Ogle. Desperation starting to set in for most of these drivers. Only 8 of them left from the lead lap. Ryan Pittman half a second the gap though last time by. A caution now would end the race.
A caution out on the race. Ryan Pittman's got 5 to go. He's giving all he's got. Most likely just eyes forward at this point. Just drive smooth. You'll be fine.
Just under 2.5 miles to go for Ryan Pittman. Has been all but dominant this race. Led a good majority of the race, same way Thomas Ogle did back in the first race. So Ryan Pittman, though, 0.4 of a second. The difference. Ogle a little bit quicker that last time by. He might have found something.
Ogle has definitely found something on that bottom. He's giving all he's got. He knows he's got 3 laps to do it here in the Virginia 150.
Ogle a little bit quicker than last time by. That's said, less than 3 laps to go. Ogle's gonna have to figure something out quick though. Able to close the gap a little bit more, going through 3 and 4 starts to really send it. Pittman though able to get the drive off.
Ogle's got that thing driving the wheels off of it. He's just so close on entry. He just loses just a touch on exit. Just a little bit faster on entry there, and he's trying to give it all he's got. We're coming to the white flag.
Yeah. White flag this time by presented by Maconi Entertainment. Ogle looking for his 3rd win of the season. Pittman his 1st. Pittman with that advantage through 1 and 2 gets a better drive off than Ogle. Ryan Pittman though still has the lead to 3 and 4. Desperation by Ogle, runs a higher line than he has all night, gets loose, not gonna get the drive off he wants. Ryan Pittman coming off of turn 4 has been picture perfect. Starts from the pole, leads almost every lap, and he's gonna get his 1st win of the YesterYear Racing League tonight at Martinsville in the Virginia 150.
Pittman, Ogle, Moore, Jewell, Collins, your top 5.
Pittman going to actually spin it out in celebration after the fact in 3 and 4, drive backwards on the track. Rest of the field going down pit road. But Ryan Pittman starts from the pole. leads a handful of laps and gets his first win of the season.
Absolutely dominant performance by Pittman there.
So had a rough go around, first finish outside the top 10 at North Wilkesboro, rebounds though with his first win at Martinsville. So this should definitely help him out in the point standings. Came into the night too, third, about 42 points off of Thomas Ogle and Brian Bianchi. So definitely gonna close up to Bianchi big time. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we get back, we're gonna do results, see if we can get a quick chat with our podium finishers.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's setup shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the virtual Martinsville Speedway, where Ryan Pittman has just put on a school lesson to the rest of the field. I'm Brayton Lasher, joining me to Jeremy Briggs, color commentating, and Robert Hill as our producer. Looking at the results, Ryan Pittman leads 126 out of 150 laps, starts on the pole, first pole of the season, I believe, for him, and basically dominated most of the show. Thomas Ogle in second race of the season. He hasn't led laps. Lloyd Moore in third, Louis Jewell in fourth, Rory Collins fifth, Jeffrey Lyden in sixth, Thomas Hilbert in seventh, Jonathan Thier eighth. And that's going to be their only drivers left on the lead lap. Next driver is going to be Brian Bianchi, 2 laps down, Brian Johnson, 2 laps down, Gavin Adams, 3 down, Bruce Pearson, 4 down, Ross Van der Vorst, 5 down, Chris Hazlip, 6 down, Al Wanamaker, 6 down, Torrance Child, 16 down, Stephen Hilbert, 32 laps down, and Jerry Isaacs and Todd List, I believe. They're actually only DNFs, both involved in that lap 1 wreck. So 148, 149 laps down, respectively. We got a couple interviews coming up. We're going to start with our third place finisher, see if we can get an award with him, Lloyd Moore. Lloyd Moore is Brayton Last in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, fellas.
Lloyd, you basically were in the top 5 a good majority of the night, battling with Jonathan Thier, battling with a handful of guys, and ultimately you bring it home third tonight. Talk to us about your race.
Pretty boring, actually. A lot of riding, made a couple of passes, guys getting loose or trapped behind lap cars. Other than that, just trying to hold the line. Typical paperclip racing here at Martinsville. Hold it to the bottom, get off the corners well, and, don't get set up so you get dive bomb getting into 1 or 3.
Yeah, for sure. And then looking throughout the season, their second podium finish of the year. It's been a rough couple weeks, though. That 14th asterisk at North Wilkesboro, and then a couple weeks ago, that 10th at Richmond. Finally, kind of returning to your former self, and talk us through that third way point through season, kind of starting to build a championship run.
Yeah, things are going smooth. North Wilkesboro, Richmond, just a lot of on me, getting a little loose off the corners and a couple of self spins, trying to get a little more than, I guess a little selfish and, I wouldn't say being aggressive, but, just trying to fight for spots and compete out here and stuff. And I cost myself some positions. But, other than that, I think I've been fast pretty much every track I've been at. Not quite as fast as the leaders. I'm just a tick off, but, I'm just trying to build consistency and see if I can hang around late in the season.
For sure. And anybody want to thank the one route to their third place finish tonight?
Yeah, definitely got to thank Alan for putting this on. I'm a New England guy and I'm a modified guy. I love watching the modifieds race up here. And, so this is kind of fun to do when he asked me to do it. So I'm glad he put this on and, we can put on good shows for him in the broadcast. Other than that, Top Flight Racing, my race team and the guys that support me doing this. And can't do it without my workmates there at Durmag and Magnum here in Waterville, Maine.
Of course, well, once again, congratulations on the third place finish tonight. I'm sure we're going to be talking to you quite a bit throughout the season.
Sure hope so, Brayton. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That was Lloyd Moore. Once again, that brings it home. Third, joining us now is Thomas Ogle. Thomas started second. Basically, you ran second behind Ryan Pittman all night. Tom, what did you need to beat Pittman?
I needed long runs. I think I would have been I was a little bit better than him on old tires, but I'm not sure I could have gotten him. We were pretty evenly matched. He would run a really good lap, and then I would run a good lap. He was a little on cold tires. He was better than me, so he could pull out to a little bit of a lead. But it's hard to pass there, and I don't know whether I could have got him. He was really good and fast and smooth. I just kind of was waiting for. I needed him to make a mistake, is what I needed, and he did not.
Yeah, we talked about you and Pittman kind of going back and forth. Like I mentioned, you have a good lap, he'd have a greater lap. He'd have a bad lap, you'd have a bad lap. And you both are pretty even, it seems, throughout the run went. They actually had the fastest lap of the race by about half a tenth of that coming on lap 9. But looking throughout the season, this is your 4th podium finish and your second, or your 4th also top 2 finish, never finished 3rd. But you've had a really consistent run minus Richmond going. And you're definitely going to extend that points lead over Bianchi. So talk us through building a championship run, now that we're a third of the way through the season.
Just missing any accidents, not getting involved in other people's stuff, and just being consistent, When Brian lost it on the apron there, I was, you can get involved in that. You can go from 2nd to 17th and then lose a ton of points. So you want to win, but also you just want to kind of ride and get good results.
Yeah, for sure. And anybody want to thank, though, en route to your 2nd place finish here tonight?
I want to thank Alan for all the work he does on the league, like all the pre-race and post-race stuff. He does a great job. All the guys in the league, really clean racing. And you guys do a nice job of putting on the race.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate you running and putting on a good show for us. Once again, congratulations on your 2nd place finish here tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
That was Thomas Ogle once again. Has been dominant all season, but you know who is even more dominant than Thomas Ogle, and that's Ryan Pittman. Leads 126 laps and route to his victory tonight, 1st of the season. Ryan Pittman, you had to basically play defense all night long at Thomas Ogle. I don't think he ever pulled away from more than a second, especially a half second there late in that run. How'd you do it?
Yeah, I know Thomas is certainly probably a little bit quicker there. I was able to fire off on a restart rather decently, and then he get back to my back bumper. It's just so tough to pass here that I kind of knew that if I just kind of stayed disciplined, make sure I didn't slide off into 1 or 3, it'd be just tough to get by me. I wasn't. I got to give a shout out to Thomas, the way he raced that event, like just clean, smart, and good racecraft. So nothing but good things to say about him. But yeah, it's kind of nice to actually have a decent finish here. I felt like I've been pretty quick. I was pretty disheartened after Wilkesboro. I'd been looking forward to that race for a long while. Definitely probably my favorite track on the sim, especially for like a tour mod. And just the way that kind of finished up, I was pretty disheartened. But either way, nice to come back to a P1 position.
Yeah, I believe coming into the night, too, you had the most laps completed out of any driver. If not, you were definitely top 3, and you're one of only a handful of drivers to have finished every single race. But you get your first pole, your first, decent laps, led to that 11 laps, I believe, at Richmond. But I mean, you just blew it all out of the water in the night. Did you expect to come in tonight and be this dominant?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt like I had a decent car the last time we came here a couple weeks ago. It's just like I said, I didn't feel like I was able to really get up there and race with the boys the last time we were at Martinsville because it was just tough to pass. Last time I was here, basically all the passes I had were just people making mistakes or spinning out or something. So I just kind of knew once again, like we had a time there trying to get one by one of the guys that was that stayed out on one of those cautions, and he played pretty defensively. So trying to figure out how I was going to get by him was tough, and trying to do it smart. And like I said, Thomas could have probably pushed me a little bit harder to force an issue that I didn't want to do. But yeah, overall good race. Got to give a shout out to these guys. Race hard, but they race pretty clean too.
Yeah, for sure. And anybody want to thank them in a route to your first win of the season here tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, Alan Wanamaker, I believe is his name. But yeah, Alan does an excellent job with this league. The amount of work he puts into it is second to none. So first and foremost, a shout out to him. And another little thing I want to say is everybody, go support your local short tracks. These tour mods put on a show. I'm in the Carolinas, so we don't get to see tour mods as much as some other places up north or whatever. We got the S.M.A.R.T tour, and sometimes we get the Whelen tour. I went to the first race back at Wilkesboro last year, and that was great seeing the tour mods run around there, watch Ryan Newman win. But just go out and support your local short tracks everywhere, across the country. There's great little short tracks. I just this year picked up trying to volunteer at my local short track, Wake County Speedway, here in the heart of Raleigh, North Carolina. So just do what you can. These tracks are a gem, man. And we don't want to lose anymore after we lost the great tracks like Myrtle Beach and the questions towards Nashville Fairgrounds and stuff. You never know what you're missing until you lose it, So first and foremost, that.
I think that's definitely a great point. Being a short track racer myself, a lot of guys can definitely relate to that. So once again, congratulations on that first win of the season coming tonight. I'm sure it definitely won't be your last.
I certainly hope so. We'll get it together and we'll go back at it. What, in June, right?
You got about a month off here to look back, and I guess you can say you're the most recent victor of the YesterYear Racing League for over a month. Thompson Speedway, that next race out on June 4th.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Jeremy, looking back at tonight, you picked Pittman early on. You got the win. I guess you got your pick. You got your win. How would you say tonight went as far as your perspective?
Well, I got to say, Hubble's AI did not disappoint when they said that Pittman was going to outperform tonight. So I got to give all the credit that AI generator that Alan put together. I enjoyed playing along with that, and I wanted to gamble on somebody, and Pittman really found something there in practice and really showed it in the race there. So that was a fun experience. These are really great drivers. And it was fun to be a part of this. Got to thank Maconi Entertainment for everything. Got to thank Brayton. Thank you for having me alongside of you. And Robert, you did a great job too.
Of course. Well, once again, next time out will be Thompson Speedway. That's Tuesday, June 4th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. See the rest of the schedule there. You can find that also at YesterYearRacing.com/schedule. Thank you once again to the entire YesterYear Racing administration team, mainly led by Alan Wanamaker, for all their work in bringing this league to life. Calling the action night was myself, Brayton Lester, alongside Jeremy Briggs in booth with Robert Hill producing. Thank you to all of our viewers for watching tonight's racing action, and we hope you'll stay tuned to all of our social media pages for our next race. Thank you to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment, and we'll see you next time.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's setup shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.